Hello and welcome to SGN Tech Forum. So this is YangSuite part 2. In previous video, you saw how to install YangSuite, how to load a device, how to create device profile. So at that point of time, we have a YangSuite running, which can talk to a device and read all the Yang modules. So let's do a quick recap and see what we have in agenda today. So today what we are going to do, we are going to understand Yang module. We will do two operations: get config, that means read configuration from device using Yang or Netconf, and edit configuration, that means configure or push some configuration to the device using Netconf. All right. So before we go to YangSuite and do all this operation, what I'm going to do a quick recap here. So as you can see, let's go to the Docker. This is Docker desktop, and once you install your Yang module or YangSuite, you will see these many containers where will be started, right? So and what you can do, you can understand or read more about those containers by going to Docker and then open this in VS Code or any text file. The key thing what I want to show you here is Docker Compose YAML, because once you install your YangSuite, every time you want to use it, all you have to do is go to that folder and say Docker Compose up, and that will in turn invoke this YAML file. And within this YAML file, since this is not a Docker class, but I would try to explain it real quick. So here is like a superset of all different containers what we have. So we have Docker containers, say nginx, YangSuite, YS backup, and etc. The compose configuration is here. And point to note is, as you can see, for YangSuite, we are using port 80 internally, and that comes from this nginx Docker container, but we are exposing it to 8443. That is the reason when you start your YangSuite, you can access YangSuite using localhost 8443. So if you're new to Docker, I recommend you go to SDN Tech Forum, search for Docker, and you can find a couple of videos which talk about Docker from scratch. And the same recommendation goes for Netconf, because suite is heavily concentrated into Netconf technologies. So if you're new to Netconf, same recommendation, go to SDN Tech Forum and search for Netconf. There you can find plenty of videos talking about Netconf from scratch. All right, so this is our Docker container. I have already started YangSuite by doing Docker Compose up. Hence, you can see all my Docker containers are running. Now it's time to go and log into the device or YangSuite. This is my YangSuite running on localhost 80.80.43. Okay, and last time we have already created a username and password. So, all right, welcome to YangSuite. And this is the landing page. Admin, you can manage users, view logs, etc. Setup. This is where we will be focusing most of the time, right? So let's look at Yang files and repo. Even before that, let's look at device profile, because this is what we have done in last video. So we have created a device profile called cat9k. Let's check the reachability. Check selected device reachability. So it is going to run some checks and it will present you the result. So what is the connectivity check result? Ping is checked, netconf is checked. That means YangSuite can log into the device or reach out to the device using ping and netconf. That's good. Let's go back to setup again in Yang files and repo. So we have already created a repo. That means cat9k default repo, and all these Yang modules, what you see here, it is actually loaded from the device itself. So it's a real-time interpretation of what all we have configured on the device, or what all feature functionality is available on the device, right? In terms of Yang module. And don't worry, we'll go ahead and create our own module. You can do add module to repo. You can upload, bring in new modules, or you can SCP or Git, right? So this is all loaded from the device, but on top of that, you can bring new modules. All right, so let's go back to our agenda. What do we want to do? We want to do a get config and set config, edit config. Yang module, and select a Yang set. Right now we have this default which is loaded from device. Let's create a separate Yang set or custom Yang set, and I'm going to name it SDN tag, and associated Yang file repo is this, obviously, because we are going to work on the same device. Let's say create Yang set, and as you can see, all these modules are loaded. But what we will do, we will just work with one particular uh, Yang module, and let's select Yang interface, IETF interface. So not Cisco proprietary, but the uh, industry standard one, IETF interface. Let's select this module, and while you're working with the Yang module, you need to understand that Yang module is like a subset of your complete Yang repo, or it can be equivalent to the Yang repo, right? So as I mentioned, right, you have so many 513 modules loaded, but we are just going to work with one, hence I'm selecting this, and I'll say add selected. So what I'm doing, I'm picking up one module from this repo, existing repo, and spark it to a newly created module set. Add selected. All right, so what is happening here? Missing dependencies. The module is in the Yang set depend on these additional modules which are not in Yang set. So obviously this is a tree-like structure, and when you pick one module, there may be a case that it is missing on some dependencies. Maybe the parents are not there, or the proper child alignment is not there. So what do you need to know? This is a problem, right? You need to understand the entire Yang structure very well. Luckily, fortunately, that's not the case. YangSuite help us with locating and adding missing dependencies. So let's click on locate and add missing dependencies, and validation is complete. All right. So what we are going to do next is protocol, and let's use this module set to build some kind of RPC call, remote procedure calls. So let's go to Netconf because that's the protocol we are focusing on. Yang said, let's load the one which we created just now, SDN tag. Modules, we have IETF interface, that's what we have selected, and IETF Yang type, this comes as part of dependency. So let's select IETF interface only. Now netconf operation, you can do multiple type of operations. What all can you do? You can do getconf, you can do editconf, and all those things. And you can go and watch SDN Tech Forum Netconf videos where I talk very much in detail about different operations, data store, etc. Device, let's select our Cat9K and see what is happening. Device loading. So it is loading the device, trying to actively reach out to that. And at this point of time, things are looking good. So first, let's build the RPC or Yang tree. Okay, let's build RPC. To construct the RPC, select a Yang set, load the test, at least one Yang module, and then do this. All right, so I think I'm missing one. Okay, all right, yes. So you have to load the module so that it is selected here, and we can, let's, right, okay. So this is our view interface, and interface requires value, right? So what we can do, we can simply check this, and now we are ready to build RPC. So this is the RPC call. As you can see, it starts with, this is XML schema, and we are saying get conf from running configuration and give me the configuration from interface container, right? So this is my RPC call, is build, and this is just kind of like a show command at hand, but we have not run this command yet. Let me also see what we have as RPC option. So configuration get config, where you want to run this show command. And again, it's talking about data store. We have candidate, running, and startup. I would like to do it in running. So let's not do anything. Close this. And at this point of time, we are good. Go ahead, run RPC. As we hit run RPC, the separate window will open. And here you can see waiting for data. Okay, tons of data. What exactly happened here is we sent the same RPC call, received messages, and netconf connected, requesting closed session, sending this. All right, where is the get conf? This is the requesting get configuration. So some handshake and other things has happened. Finally, we have session initialized, netconf is connected, netconf send get config for that particular path, X path, and what we are getting from here is message from host is this, as you can see. Let's start. So we have an interface called 40 gigabit 112. We have their IP addresses, we have their uh, descriptions. So everything like what you can do show interface, those things are shown here. The only challenge is schema is in XML, right? Because netconf works on XML schema. So we have plenty of interfaces here. It's a busy box, and hence you can see we have a very long output. And then what you can see, ending temporary session, requesting close session, a graceful netconf disconnect. All right, so this is good. We have the output. So as you can see, we have achieved get config using Yang. Now let's see what else we can do. Try to do maybe a setconf. And what is setconf operation? Is a edit conf. So get and set is in SNMP, but you got the idea. For netconf, we call it edit configuration. That means we are pushing the configuration. All right. So here in this case, let's load the module again, an ITF interface, build RPC. Value must be set in the very same thing, right? So interface, let's see what value we can put. Okay. So this is the name. Okay. And I'm going to edit my management interface. And here we will say, let's put a random description, SDN Tech check in. So I'm saying that I just checked in here. Operation, okay, create, merge, replace. So you can replace one value to another value. You can create a thing. So I will just leave it with merge. I think we need to understand this a little bit in detail. So let's go ahead and say create. And so RPC call is build, and go ahead and run the RPC. Okay, so what happened? Oh, we are still getting get config, not good. So oops, because this part is still get conf, right? My bad. Now let's hit build RPC. Okay, so it's going to say go to this interface, and then okay, I think we should first clear RPC, and instead of create, say merge, and let's build RPC. This looks pretty decent. So we have edit config, target is running data store. Within that, what we are going to do, we are going to go to that interface, and operation is merge, name is this, check-in is description. All right, now let's go ahead and run this RPC. Hopefully it will do the job. But obviously the power of Netconf is not by doing these things by hand, right? We want automation, and that's what Cisco DNA Center enable you to do that. As you can see here, what exactly happened. So you go to config, and then you go to that particular interface, and then you create a description. All right, so it is done. We can go back, and this time around, what I'm going to do, I'm going to create a get conf, just like earlier, clear RPC, and build RPC. So we have to load module and get config, build RPC. Of course, let me clear this, and interface, check, and now we are ready to repeat the operation, build RPC. Looks good. It says get conf and run RPC. We are going to focus on one particular interface where we change the configuration. So the show interface was not the optimal way to check that, but let's see. Here you can see we have the interface 000 and description is SDN tech checking. That means our configuration is in place. All right. So this is, I think, this concludes our work with YangSuite, but this protocol or this tool is quite extensive. I advise you to go and check up yourself, spend time looking into GNMI, RPC. It supports RESTconf as well, and you can do things with dataset and analytics. So good luck with the tool. If you discover some cool things, build some new automation, do let me know. And I hope you're enjoying this series. So please like, subscribe, share, spread a word, and thank you. I'll see you in next video.